Oh, hello there. I didn't even see you there. Welcome back to another episode of Fizz Drives to Work. I believe this is episode 4, if I'm not mistaken. Today is not going to be magic related, so don't worry about it. Although I do really want to talk about foundations and maybe some of the Universes Beyond Standard stuff that's coming, but I'll save that for another time. But today is going to be just a little bit of like a State of the Union, if that makes sense. I've had a couple people reach out over the last, well, at this point, like last couple months, I suppose, just sort of asking like how I'm doing. A couple people have commented that I've been I've been a little bit quieter than normal, and I'm a type of person who overthinks, and I don't want that quietness to be like taken as me, not wanting to talk to them or whatever it may be for that particular person, right? So, I thought I would just kind of make like a quick little yapping session to just kind of give you guys a little bit of insight onto, what's been going on behind the scenes. Again, it's nothing horrible. You could probably fathom quite a bit of it, but, I try and, I like to say I try, and I think we do a good job as a community to sort of support whoever needs to be supported. I know there's quite a few people that do come to the channel for, some ounce of consolation or comfort or just sort of distraction from the daily, the craziness of daily life. And I think, I've been maybe like subconsciously hesitant in the past to indulge in that myself. So if I sound awkward or if I sound hesitant during this video, it's not because I'm not appreciative. I think it's just I'm the type of person who I'm always there to help somebody if I can, right? I always want to be the person to, that somebody can reach out to talk to or for advice or help, whatever it may be, right? But I have a hard time doing that. I have a hard time initiating that conversation for myself. So this is going to be my video essay in that regard. So we'll see how that goes. But I think just sort of like a very, very high level about sort of what's been going on. Honestly, I think a lot of it just comes down to being just tired. And in the truest sense of the word, exhausted. Like, not to say I work the most demanding job by any means, right? I mean, I don't work construction, I don't work landscaping, I don't work in a factory. So I'm not saying, my job is my job's the toughest, but I think it's more just the timing of it. So I don't, quote unquote, I don't work a normal full-time job, if you will, but most weeks I work consecutive doubles, whether that's 2 or 3. Usually it's been like I'll work a night and then the next 2 or 3 days are doubles, and then maybe I have like a half shift, which is, I say a half shift, which is still like 7 hours, but and I think that just takes a toll on me, right? And not to say it's not the most demanding, but it's certainly, there is a non-zero amount of work, right? Of physical work, right? I'm in the perfect world, I would just be making drinks, but I oftentimes, don the dish apron and I do dishes. I, run to go get, drinks or ingredients for the kitchen. I try and help out as much as possible, right? So by no means am I just standing still doing nothing, but I'm also, again, I'm not trying to complain that my job is the toughest, right? But it definitely does take, a toll on me, right? So there's this sort of physical tax on me, right? Where it's just working a non-zero demanding job, right? And I think it's just, again, if I worked like 7 hours for like the 5 days, that would be better than working, a couple, working 5 hours one night and then the next morning you're there 10, 11, 12 hours for the next 2 days, right? So oftentimes, even if I'm out at, a decent time, like 7 or 8 p.m., Um, I'm just exhausted. And when I mean exhausted, I mean I'm just spent of energy. Um, Physically, it's kind of sad, to be honest with you. Um, Oftentimes I'll stay a little bit after to, clean up or, prep for the next day. And by the time that I'm home, I don't really have the energy to stream. I've been not neglecting Discord messages, but I think a lot of you can certainly recognize that I've been, quieter on Discord than normal, which I'm certainly not proud of. But honestly, like, my days usually just come down to getting up, going to work, taking the dog out, taking the dog for a walk, feeding them, making coffee, going to work, working anywhere from, 10, 11, 12 hours, coming home at usually it's, 9, 10, 11 o'clock, making dinner, showering, going to bed, waking up at, 7:30, 8 the next day. So there's not really, on the days that I do work, there's not a lot of time to really, like, I can't really be on my phone or I certainly can bring, like, my laptop to work or anything. But, yeah, I mean, a lot of it just comes down to me being tired, which is unfortunate. The second thing I'd like to focus on is, so we talked a lot about the physical, taxing there, but I think I would also 100% be lying to say that that wasn't the most sort of taxing side of it, right? And this part's going to be a little bit difficult to talk about, so please bear with me here. I think most of what is preventing me from doing stuff or having the energy to do stuff is the mental side. I think I won't get into all of it, but there's certainly a lot of stuff that I don't do well with uncertainty, I guess is what I'm trying to say. And I have a lot of stuff in my life that is uncertain right now, between sort of, living situation, job, financial stuff. Again, not to say that I'm broke or gonna be homeless soon, but I'd be lying if I said I was super comfortable with my position in the extended future. For those who don't know what I do right now, so I'm doing part-time bartending and serving. But my career, quote unquote, is as a programmer, right? So I went to school for computer science. I've had a couple of jobs in the computer science field. I had one up until January of 2024, which I ended up leaving, which I think I still don't regret to this day, just because it was, for those who knew me back then, I was an absolute wreck. I would be working 6-7 days a week. I'd be on call at, midnight for site outages or whatever it may be. So I don't regret that decision per se, but I have severely underestimated the job market right now. I have probably sent, I don't even want to guess how many job applications out. And I've probably only heard back from a third of them. I mean, I'm talking high 2, low 3 digits, right? In the, 80s, 90s, 100s, right? And to only hear back from, a third of them, 30 to, 35 of them, all of which being rejections. So that has been a very tough thing for me to swallow. I'm kind of at the point right now where I'm questioning what I want to do with my life. Not to say that there's any, self-harm or anything there, but again, I'm kind of at just like a crossroads, right? And again, there's a lot of stuff that is happening with my family, which I won't get into. I don't want that to be public, but just know that this is not the only thing that I'm considering, or the only thing that's taking up space in my head. And they're tough thoughts and feelings to just sit with, right? I'm not the type of person that can say, oh, okay, well, I'm going to grapple with these things. Oh, and then I'm going to be fine. I'm going to be able to, not over-identify with them. I think I'm the complete opposite. I obsess over these feelings, and I think that's obviously a problem, right? It's a self-inflicted wound, right? I think about these things, I worry about them, which makes me think about them more, which makes me worry about them, so on and so forth, right? So, I guess all in all, this to say, there's been a lot that's been going on behind the scenes, right? And with how much stuff has been happening behind the scenes, it leaves me very little time and energy and really, honestly, just motivation to stream or to do to do content, let alone, right? This isn't me saying I'm giving up streaming. This isn't me saying I'm taking a break. I think for the foreseeable future, I think I'm going to maybe stop doing schedules for a bit. Maybe just kind of play streams, play it by ear. Kind of go on like a week-to-week basis, see how we're doing. It also doesn't help that I don't know my work schedule until usually Mondays, and they're different by 1 or 2 days each week. One week I could have only 2 shifts. This week I have 5. So I don't really want to commit to a streaming schedule and then have to cancel it the week before. Or, we can talk about making a schedule on Monday, but Monday and Tuesday are usually my free days anyways, so that doesn't really matter. But all of this to say, I think it's to sort of cap it off right now, because I'm pulling up to work in just about a minute here. I'm very bummed that I haven't been able to have the motivation or the energy to do the type of content that I would or the additional content that I would like to do. Earlier this year we talked about YouTube videos and shorts, and we're gonna do the funny unboxing videos, gonna do magic content, all of this stuff, and I think 2024, much like 2023, has not shaped out to be my year per se. So, all of this to say, thank you for being patient. I really do appreciate it. I think I'm going to try my best to work on that stuff that we talked about, right? But if it doesn't happen until 2025, please, understand that. I'm trying my best. And I'm not to say that any of you are, judging me, right? I'm not saying that there's any, there's no hard feelings from you guys, I can imagine. And again, I'm not making this video for sympathy. I don't want you guys to fake interest in my stuff or whatever that may be. Again, I just kind of wanted to make this video to honestly just vent about stuff. So, I'm pulling into work right here, so I do have to sign off. But, I value trying to be as transparent as possible. And I think it's, it's tough to do stuff alone, right? And I think you guys deserve to know sort of what has been happening behind the scenes. Again, we're just as much, I'm just as much a part of this community as you guys are. And, I don't really know how to transition from this video. So, thank you for watching. If this actually makes it to the light of day, I might completely delete this one. We'll see how I'll listen to it over and see how bad it may be. But, yeah, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Maybe, I'll see you next time. Maybe. I don't know. All right. Have a good one. Goodbye.